Okay. Back to reality. Let's see if this is all working. Bear with me for a second, because I'm trying to make sure I'm actually streaming to the right places. First time trying to do multicasting, so yeah, I think that's working. I'm not getting any echo either, which is nice. Cool. All right. Here we go. So, we're getting close. The kind of rough fitting of this frame is all gone together. Just got to put the outer shell and the handlebars on. And then, after that, it'd be good to start working on electronics. One thing I do need to check, though, is whether or not I've got this thing the right way around, because I kind of feel like this isn't moving the eyeball the way that it should be. Although, maybe that's because I have it in a bad position. We'll find out. I think one of my cameras has stuffed up on me. Excuse me. Okay, let's try this again. Type. Hey, there we go. Now we're back to life. You can actually see me move the thing. Sweet. That's what we want. Okay, awesome. So, the thing that I said I was going to do today, we have, aside from a giant ball of garbage, we've got this thing, great big eyeball, and it's slowly kind of coming together. If you peer in the side of it, you can see all the guts, all of this jazz. You'll probably see it in here too, if I show it down the bottom. Whole bunch of actuators, whole bunch of electronics. Some of it might even work, maybe. No guarantee. But the logic is that this should be put together enough, and I can already see bits of it that are falling to bits, so that statement is pending. But this should be put together enough for me to pack it all up with the power supply by the end of this session. That's the goal. And I can take it upstairs and finally get out of this freezing shed. Much as I like working out here in winter is not fun. It's a little fun. Not ideal though. Okay, so I should probably fix the outer, these outer rims before I do anything else. Just because the way that they're moving around is a little bit anxiety inducing right now. It's one of those things that I think if I leave it, it's going to stuff up later on. So you can see kind of around here, there should be little linkages that are joining these brackets. They're meant to hold together by friction, but the white filament that I used for this is, to put it politely, utter garbage. So, going with this. Give me your secrets. Going. This thing. That thing. It's the outer shell. If I remember correctly, the instructions that Random Suite has kindly provided really just say something along the lines of rest of the damn L. Just add the outer shields and stick them on. That's those two things there. Assemble the outer shield. Okay. Yeah, cool. That's the bit that we need to do now, I think. And it's going to involve a little bit of drilling, a little bit of fiddling. Whoops. Pop this over here. Cool. This thing plugs into the other thing. This is kind of what we're looking at. Two halves linked together, and then by their powers combined, I'm going to take those two little holes down the bottom there and stick a handle through it, and that'll be sort of like the front-facing handle for Wheatley. Only drawback is its design doesn't have actuation points for those handles, so they're just going to stick where they are. But I don't think that's an important part of bringing this character to life anyway. So that should be fine. I hope. I tell myself. And maybe if I sand faster, it'll be less freezing out here. Okay, we got to skip a few. This thing, that thing, the other thing. Do you stick together? Do you stick together? Reality says no. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Okay. Okay. I was hoping I wouldn't have to drill away the sins of this filament, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to, because yeah, nothing in here looks like it's fitting anywhere near as flush as I need it to, so time to get a drill bit. Fix it in post, they said. Obligatory pulse of the drill. Can't touch the thing without squeezing it twice. And I'm just going to let that statement sit there and be what it is. Okay. Did I grab the right drill bit? Probably should have checked. That's pretty tight, actually. But for reference, the bit that I'm trying to clean up is there are little slots that run along the inside here. And those slots are meant to mate with the tabs on the other side. So you've got tab on this side, slot on this side, and they're sort of meant to go into one another. And obviously you can see it's just not doing that, which is less than ideal. Less than ideal. And I can either kind of force it until something probably gives way. I can sort of see that the 3D print hasn't really... Turn this on. Yeah. I can sort of see that the 3D print hasn't really... it skipped a few layer lines on this top edge, which has caused it to kind of sag in a bit. So that's probably causing most of the friction that I'm seeing here. Oh my god. Tried streaming yesterday and I'd forgotten that I'd already set up an extra mic source. So something like the first 5-10 minutes of the stream just had my voice echoing at full volume, which just would have been amazing to listen to. But oh well, Celavi, you live and you learn. section here. It's not great. This is a 1.6mm drill bit that I'm using to really crudely fill out this section here. All right, we got it. Did that do the thing? I don't think the tab's the problem. I think the slot. Oh, oh. It's still no, but better than it was. It's definitely better than it was. I feel like I'm blowing into an N64 cartridge. Come on, you bladder. Okay, cool. Now, there was another thing I was wondering how to do. I'll need to learn how to do this. I'm trying to do multicasting to YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. And I've been told, or rather I've been warned, that YouTube's copyright bot moderation system is pretty aggressive. So I've turned the music off in this case, which is a little annoying. I'm told that there's a way to separate the audio tracks. I haven't quite figured that out, such that you can have an audio track on stream that's available live, but doesn't get persisted to your other sources. It's available live on Twitch, but it's not available on your VODs or in other streaming services, which would be ideal, I think, because then I get to listen to tunes and not worry about being struck with the banhammer, which would be quite nice. Honestly, this is what we call precision engineering. As well. I have a vision of what this project's going to be, and it is like my North Star. It's the thing that's keeping me going through this noxious process. And for anyone who happens to stumble upon it, behold the plan. I have at least 16% of a plan, or rather 60% of a plan that's been 16% executed. Printed all the things. I thought I'd finished prepping all the parts, but of course, famous last words, the second I actually try to stick them all together, that's when I realized none of them fit. Most of them have gone together. This is the very last part in assembling the actual physical shape of Wheatley. Then after this, I get to whip out the power supply, start shooting sparks everywhere. You gonna fit? I feel like... Totally run a drill through this. Part of me wonders if that's the faster way of doing things. This feels very much like a cheat, but let's try it. That's not the way we're going to do it. Terrible idea. Mm-hmm. Oh. I was playing around a little bit with the software side of things earlier today, and it is so creepy. It is so just having a computer respond to you in natural language is it's kind of awe-inspiring and also deeply disconcerting, especially when it does it in character. There's a whole bunch of really cool tools that you can play around with these days that solve all the different little pieces of the puzzle. So if I were, looking to do this 20 years ago with, kind of early 2000s tech, I would have so many different problems that I would need to solve around how do I turn voice into text? How do I turn text back into voice? How do I generate the response? How do I give it emotion and affectations and intonation? How do I then appropriately garnish that text with instructions for the motors so that they know what to do while the thing is talking? And the crazy thing is that the software exists right now for all of that to kind of come out of the same piece of software. So you take one model, one AI model, and if you prompt it the right way, you can basically get it to do all of the above. You can get it to understand you. You can get it to respond with appropriate context. You can get it to comment on the stuff that it sees. So you could feed it frames from a video game, which hopefully I'll get to with this. We'll see. You can feed it frames from a video game, and then also what you're talking to and chat and all the rest of it. And so really what I'm hoping will happen is the tech's kind of got to the point now, consumer-wise, that it's going to enable a whole bunch of people to make these sort of zany co-pilots, these kind of automatic co-streamers that can play games with them or have random conversations or offer sort of funny little quips. Kind of like those people that you see sitting in the supporting chair on like late night shows. You've kind of got the main host, and then you've got, some comedian who's just sort of phoned it in and they've decided to sit off to the side, and that's their career now. You can do that, but with a bot. Meanwhile, I am just getting plastic absolutely everywhere, convincing myself that this is the way it needs to be done. Okay, so this thing, let's get in there. Ooh, oh, that's looking so much better. That's looking better. Not sticking together, but it's looking better. Oh, buddy. Oh, come on. Stick together. You were made for each other. Oh my god. Okay. I had a thought that entered my head, and I'm not going to voice it. That would not be appropriate. So, top, bottom. Oh, let's go. Got some little pieces that are kind of just being stuck on the side here. And one other thing, every time I do sanding in this space, I get plastic crap everywhere. So, the latest little innovation is you take a stein and you put whatever you're drinking in that, because the little lid stops crap from getting in it. Sometimes it's the simple things. Ooh. Is that going to actually do it? Nope, that's not going to do it. Well done, mate. Well done. Try again. Oh, wait. Okay, and I see what's wrong. I see what's wrong. Doesn't mean I'm going to fix it quickly, but I do see what's wrong. So there's stuff in the corners here that's stopping that last tab from getting in where it should. Can't really think of a better way of doing this. Sort of the closest thing I have is this 1.6mm drill bit, just the right size, and then just abrade away the material that shouldn't be there. Okay, cool. So this one goes. Yeah. Note to self: if you're ever doing 3D printing with a higher temp filament like ABS or ASA, stay away from the white filaments. They're just, there's something about the pigment that just makes them so much harder to work with. Like all the other pieces that I've printed in black, grey, clear, all the rest of it. The attachment for the eye, this little thing that's going to have a light shine through it. That's they all came out perfectly fine. But all the pieces that were this particular shade of white, they've required serious correction, which is fine because I mean at least they printed, right? But it's definitely a step back from the other filaments. Okay. All beans. Come on, mate. 5th time's the charm. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I think that's pretty promising. Okay. So, faceplate get. Well, not faceplate. This thing actually sits off to the side, and there's 2 of them. There's one on this side, one on this side. I don't do this. One on this side, and one on that side. And then the handles sort of sit on top of that. But there's a thing. It's a very particular kind of thing that I need to add to this. They're over here. So Wheatley has a couple of distinctive colors. One of the things that sticks off to the side of him is he's got these like silver rings that hold together the main chassis. So I've just gone and taken some gray, or silver filament rather, and printed them. And here they are. So there'll be one on either side. And the other pieces are going to socket into that. Now, Random Swede, the guy who's created the design for this, has very smartly, I pop this back where it's meant to go, has very smartly created these rivet holes around the inner perimeter there. And those, if the tolerance is right, and spoilers, it's not going to be, those should socket into the pieces on the outside here. So, best laid plans and all, I should be able to take this thing. I might have to hit it with a drill properly if it's not working. But let's find out, shall we? Oh man, is it going to do it? Wait, I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Come on, you bladder. I think I'm going to have to widen some of these because the physical dimensions of this have distorted a little bit, which is a pain. Okay. Well, sort of make do. Anyway, you kind of get the idea, right? Like this is sort of the way that it's, I'll put this down here. So you have two of these. This rim kind of holds it together, and there's tabs that pop in that sort of seal the whole thing. But I can't progress without these rivets socketing in where they're meant to. So I might fiddle around with that separately. Let's take this off just quickly and see if I can get it working for one piece. One piece. Oh crap. Maybe a problem on the other end of the desk, please. Alright, yeah, so I reckon it's drilling time. Can't remember. They're 3mm or 2.8 or 3.2mm. They're 3, aren't they? They are definitely 3. That's okay. So I do have 3mm drill bit, thankfully. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Hopefully the noise cancelling on this this mic will save everyone else's eardrums. If it doesn't, please let me know. Okay. Alright. I reckon that does it. When have I ever modified something once and actually had it work? Let's try. This filament, never. Okay, this is you. Go over the top here. 1, 2, skip a few. Let's go. Interesting. It's a pretty thin tolerance. This one also suffers from the same thing. I might just have to brute force these in. Just deal with the horrendous cracking noise that's going to result from it. They look to be symmetrical, so there shouldn't be a wrong way to do this. Although if there is one, I'm sure I'll find it. Right, I think that's what's happening. Okay. I think what I might have to do, it's not great. I might have to clip some of these inner lines just so that it can flex around it. I think that'll have to be the solution. I'm going to try it anyway. But basically what's happening is these inner pegs, because again, best filament in the world, isn't properly lining up with the pegs here. That's okay, because we can just trim these inner bits, and because the plastic is flexible, it'll hopefully act a little bit like a compliant mechanism and lock the whole thing in place. Or at least that's what I'm telling myself. as I do irreparable damage to the print, I think it'll be perfectly fine. Damn. Okay. Go. I reckon this might actually do it. Your way. And your way. Let's try it. It's so fiddly. My god. Whoop. Wait, that's promising. That is very promising. I pry the rest of you in there? Is that gonna work? I push you to the side like this. Does that work? Everything is a slightly different dimension because of the warpage. Very, very annoying. Let's stretch it a little bit. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Hmm. Oh, wait. Not what I meant to do. Oh, am I meant to get you together? It's a bit difficult. Ridiculously difficult. Yeah, I should really figure out that music thing as well. It's quite nice having tunes in the background. But I definitely don't want to get hit with the banhammer over on YouTube. Yeah, I think. Oh, wow. It would almost be more useful if the pegs weren't there. Then I could sort of roughly align it and just glue it together and call it a day. But they are there, so make do. A little bit on the edge here. I made the mistake of printing a lot of these parts with an inner or an outer brim, and it's just created a whole bunch of work to clean up. Come on. I reckon could take even more off on the inside there. That might actually get us to where. Not going to be pretty, but it would work. Yeah, because the only other way I'm going to get these two pieces together is if I deform them pretty heavily, which would be fine if the material were more compliant. But this white filament gets very, very brittle very quickly. So close too, which is the ridiculous thing. We're talking like less than a millimeter between it fitting and it complaining. These pegs. Actually, you know what? I did as a bit of an experiment. Print one of these in white. Part of me wonders if the shrinkage factor has meant that this lines up better than the other one. It'd be quite funny if it did. I think so. Let's see. Hey there. A bit up. We go. Okay, cool. If this works. Okay. Still the same problem, even with the white piece. So, got one or two choices. Either plug the pegs off and just fit it in sort of loosely, or I can widen the slots such that they actually grip it. And I feel like widening the slots is going to be a bit more work, but not necessarily very much reward. Seriously thinking about just clipping the pegs off, which I think could also just make the outside of Wheatley grey. Completely forget about the problem with this filament. Worst case, we heat up the forge and do a bit of a reprint. That might actually get us there. I'll do this a little bit more aggressively. And this is all getting glued together at the end of the day anyway. So tearing this stuff out is not necessarily super consequential. Most important thing is that it fits. Getting closer. Every time I do this, slightly more of the pegs fit in. So first time it was 1, second time it was 2. I think I got 3.5 then. We got it. That feels like it's very close to kind of forcing territory. Wow. I mean, I had to dice it to bits, but that's attached pretty well. Okay. Yeah. Guess it's kind of nice to leave most of the pegs in, because if nothing else, it forces the proper rate of curvature. And one of the things that I'm foreseeing is going to be a problem with this model is any sort of deviation in the size of the inner shell versus the outer shell means they're going to rub against one another as I'm trying to get them to move, which is not ideal. Okay. So I am going to have to do the same thing for this side, I think. At the very least, prove that it fits. The one downside of it fitting by friction is that you can never really be sure if you're going to be able to get it loose again without ripping the two pieces apart. Now, this one, I mean, are you going to have all the same problems, or are you going to be a bit of a Hail Mary? You are going to have most of the same problems, I think. Yeah, okay. So, same shtick. Go through, flip open the holes, make the tolerance where the print clearly has none. Go from there. I feel like I'm going to need to be on such a warpath just to get this thing done. I can't get hung up on little details. Otherwise, I just know I'm going to let perfect be the enemy of good. And this project has so many moving parts to it that those little kind of imperfect moments pop up everywhere. It's much easier to iterate on a finished product than it is to try and perfect each individual stage. So sometimes, you know, the get it done attitude is a little bit more the way of doing things. Man. You can fit, come on. Sand and grind every single hole. Okay. Is this going to work? Come on, good kind of crunch. Hey, that's the good kind of crunch. Hey, but of course, I've attached it to the wrong side. Question is, will it do it for the other side? Ooh, wait a minute. I think... Is that it? So close. So close. Good crunch. Okay. Cool. So then in theory, if both these sides are capable of doing that... Making it again. Both these parts are capable of doing that, then I should be able to mesh them together. And get a proper join going. So let's try that now. This thing goes into the other thing. This one, isn't it? Yeah. This one, this one. Cool. So 1, 2. It's going to be a huge pain in the backside. Oh, wait. Wait. Good crunches. Can I get another good crunch? It's kind of happening. Oh, wait a minute. That looked promising. Look at that. Okay, cool. So, that's a side plate. One side plate. I only have to do that one more time. Which is not the worst. Not the best, also not the worst. And then, finally, after all that, I properly socketed this thing in. I can't even tell him. And then after all that, finally start programming this guy. Bring him to life. a little low-key concerned that if I take an LLM and I hook it up to this bot and I just sort of let it rip on air, how long will it take for it to respond to something in chat that gets me banned or just causes some kind of mayhem? It's, you know, these models, they have no idea what's, you know, permissible or not. Okay. This is slowly. Slowly coming together. uh. Yeah, that is something I would do. How are you guys, man? Can you tell I don't do this internet thing very often? Just a heads up, guys, I'm also trying a little bit of an experiment. I have no idea how well it'll work. Yeah. No idea. Change this. Anyway, I'm meant to also be sending this to YouTube simultaneously, just as a bit of a test. And we'll see how it works. I've still got to figure out the whole audio situation. Covered in white powder. Not in a good way. Wow. You know what? Once these pieces are done, I'll be glad to be done with this stage of the whole process. Okay. Finally getting to the point where that socket is open enough to fit the other tab. next. Right. Let me move that off screen. Oh man. Come on. That last little bit out. Will you fit? Yeah, that's good enough. Good enough for that side, but is it good enough for the other side? Absolutely not. Let's see. Take two. Alright, you're fitting, which is cool. What about you? You're fitting too. Sweet. So, thing we did last time to make this all work. And again. I want to see if this is at all come out differently. I push these pieces over the top. Any chance of them lining up? No. Not like that, at least. Okay. So, second time is the charm. Purging these little lip bits. Just so that I can get that extra little bit of wiggle room. And the residual friction is still enough to hold the whole thing together. That's one set. Come on, plug in. You know you want to. Get in there. I'm going to be able to push that in. Ooh, maybe not. Probably gonna have to do a little bit of extra filing. My favorite thing. Oh, that looks promising. Will you stretch far enough for me to plug this whole thing in? I think I need to do one last thing. So hey. Oh, come on. Give me that good crunch. Give me that Dorito level crunch. Let's go. That was a healthy crunch. Okay. now that I know that it fits too well. Nice. Lucky last. One flip. Two flips. See how this goes. Alright, that's looking promising. Come on. Oh, good crunch, good crunch. Best crunch, how good. Okay. Last dry fit. So this means red thing plugs into the other thing. Let's go. 2. Okay. Into the plugs. In you go. Oh. Optimistic crunch. Hey. That was so much easier than the other one. That was so much easier than the other one. Alright. Just to prove that this isn't fake news. 1, 2. We have both. Hell yeah, let's go. every project you do has these kinds of ups and downs. And I feel like the prospect of being done with the physical printing and forming the shape of this project, getting past that hurdle, is giving me a little bit of a surge of motivation. Did most of the electronics yesterday. Ooh. That seemed important. What did I just drop? No, I'll stuff it. Cannot have been that important. How many spares of these did I print before I lose too many of them? I knew exactly that was going to happen. One of the things Old Mate said in building this is that there's these little tabs, little doohickeys over here. And those tabs are designed to lock into the base of this. So that little section there, and I'm not trying to flip everyone off, really just showing that this tab going in there, it's going to lock it in place, make the whole thing a lot more rigid. So now I think part of that is actually to help lock it to the frame, to this outer frame. Back over here. I feel like I need a better establishing shot. This model's just a little bit too big for me to fit under this desk cam. This piece quickly. Someone once told me that all of engineering or crafting, making, whatever you want to call it, is basically a process of adding stuff where you want it and removing it where you don't want it. One of those two things, which is obviously a gross oversimplification, but as I spend most of this time gluing and sanding things, it feels very true. That's stuck. For context, got these tiny little slits that run through the side of these shells, and we're all meant to lock in together. The problem with them is that they're so thin, and again, this particular filament has been such a pain that, yeah, they're extremely fragile, and they're usually slightly warped, which means that as they flex to try and compensate for whatever error is inherent in the model, they invariably end up snapping. Which is less than great. wonder if I can get away with gluing that. I don't know if it's going to cause problems. I reckon gluing it's probably the way. So I'm going to try it. Oh, that's permanent. I do kind of wish this particular part of the design had rivets or spaces in the same way that this ring does. Something to kind of ensure that everything's the right distance from one another. I had a piece for this. What the hell did I do with it? Maybe, just maybe, it's this. The other annoying thing about this design is there are suspiciously similar but very fundamentally different spaces. So one of them looks like this. The other one looks like this. And they are very easy to mess up because they both socket into the same slot, but they produce different spacings depending on which side you put them on. Let's do it this way. You into the tab. Same thing for you. Come on, get in there. Can do this. Yes, I do. I wonder why you aren't fitting. It's getting stuck in there. It's a different way. Ooh, okay. That's a very different experience. So, originally I was kind of fighting these two pieces, really trying to get them to go together. One of them has a really nice friction joint. The other one, not so much. Oops. Alright. I think that got us there. Nice. It's stuck in where it should be. Now it's just a matter of getting the other one stuck in exactly where it should be. Hopefully no further. I think that's actually okay. Whole shell is meant to move inside of a larger frame. See the tolerance between this outer bezel here and these shell pieces, very, very small. So probably not 100% done with sanding, unfortunately. That's the kind of thing that you can tune up once you've actually got it moving, which we're hopefully not too far from. I'm going to leave that as is for now. Try to lock as little in place as possible. Because obviously once I do, I've got Buckley's of changing it. But one of the things I can do this guy together. Actually completely forgot. Where is this connected? There are 4 actuators 4 large actuators that sit on the inside of Wheatley's head. These 4 things. Each of them is designed to lock into a different part of the overall mechanism. Is that it? Okay. Yeah, that's a snug fit. So that's the left bit. There's meant to be, you can see inside here. Let's see inside here, we've got an actuator that runs up and down the inside of the head. That's going to help with the tilt. Other things that need to happen as well. Add some screws, these little guys, that help me lock everything in place. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm hoping I haven't done this too late. For this. Cool. So that went in on one side. I need a short one just to go through to the other. Man, these little sockets need to line up with one another. I wonder if I can move this other part. Let's see. So, one of the things we're going to try and do here is try and power on one of these actuators just in isolation so that I can move one of the subsections of this whole model. So I'm going to take this little piece of kit, hopefully, I'm going to try this screen, but find out. This one that's meant to move it up and down. Maybe it's not locked in place. Maybe I'm just imagining things. It's entirely possible. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to pull this bit in then. Where are you? That was crunchy. Ah, that might be what's causing the friction. Really struggling to figure out how to get this inner section to rotate such that I can kind of get it free of the faceplate. See if I can get you in there. Vaguely see. Do you think it has lined up? Maybe sort of hit its maximum depth. Shorter one of these would be better. Yeah, that works. Then I'm not fighting it from both sides. I'll figure out how I'm meant to get this whole thing sort of to tilt down a bit. That's plate. Maybe, man. Tell you what, physically, it's coming along. Yeah. But getting this thing to sort of slide smoothly past all the different parts that are all slightly different sizes. Not easy. Must have stared at the inside of this thing for a solid half hour, trying to figure out what particular section on the inside here is meant to move so that I can bring this front face plate up, is the main thing that I'm after. that is attached to this one. That might be what's fighting me. I need to take you, plug you in. Crunch, 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 crunch. Alright, that's looking a little better. I think I figured out the actuator. It's this guy. This whole thing is so chunky. Okay. Let's see if we can throw some handle hinges together. Then I can call myself done. Yeah. With the construction. I do. Second one of these, here it is. Okay. Two black handles. Caps. These are all the bits we need. So how's this meant to look? Put Wheatley over here for a second. Asking a lot of the 9 o'clock brain. Yeah. One, two, three, four. these goes into the small end. Got it's like a little bushing that goes in. What was it? Alright, they want you to grab a little rubber band for that. Right, that's okay. Don't need to worry about that just yet. Oh, is this meant to go inside here? Oh, damn. Okay. Maybe it is. Okay. Okay. So, I have this right. Be another one of these pieces around here somewhere. I only printed one. Basically, these two pieces snap together, form a little joint. Then this, flip over, connect together. You stick one of these little cap pieces inside. That's cool. Nice. Feels like I've got this the right way around, but I'm not quite rocking how it's meant to go together with one of these. Oh man, okay. So that's not actually meant to be there. That's good to know. What did I do? Love my synthwave. What did I do with those other grey pieces? I just didn't print enough of them. Oh, good thing to know now. Guess that means we're waking this thing up. Okay. So, I've got enough of most of these pieces, but I'm a little short on this special little shim piece, which I imagine they're meant to. Hinges are made of 2 parts, axle and a bushing. Oh. Okay. Well, I'm completely wrong. So, here I was thinking that this model didn't have an actuation joint for the handle, and it actually does. So, shows what I know, right? Don't think I need to actually print any extra pieces because I've got all the pieces that I need. What I will need to do though let's get this bit through somehow. Maybe I can use the pliers. Let's really print it away. Right. Ooh, did that go the way I wanted it to? I think it did. Then means I can do this. Plug this in. Cool. Nice. So, little handle. That should stick to the top of the head. Some way, somehow. Got him! Tell you what. Part of me kind of wants to instruct the LLM if I ever manage to get this thing chatting to people. Try and get the LLM to have some sort of reward associated with setting up Ligma jokes. I'll just give it a set of keywords like, you know, Imagine Dragons, Mango, Ligma, yeah, all the good stuff. See if I can get it to trap chat. Alright. One handle, two handles. I'm actually really surprised that that exterior plate fits on this at all. It's downright insane. This is kind of cool. So, this plate is meant to go over here. And then I'm meant to, theory, how well this works. Who knows? Yeah, maybe I go install that. Seriously, guys. It triggers after a timer, but after the first time it quickly loses its charm. But that first time? What was it you told me last time? It's like where everyone's just chasing their dragon, man. Just chasing the first time we ever did something. Maybe not. I don't actually think that, but it's a funny thought. There's the other tab. So I played around with interactive version of Gemini recently, and it's so creepy. It's just giving this thing a mechanical face. Terrible idea, but it's also a lot of fun. Okay. Would you look at that? Oh, wait a minute. Wait, don't look at that. Oh, that's what it's sticking on. Okay. This is wild. Check it out. That's looking a little bit closer to a Wheatley bot. Now I need to stick the handles on. Yes, Gaz. We'll handle these nuts. Now, there are two pieces that I'm looking for. I remember earlier, I dropped them very near the beginning of the stream. bunch of extra ones. So hopefully... Oh, I do have some extra ones here, actually, so... Big ol' side plate. See what happens. Ah. Well, I definitely failed that IQ test. So we're gonna have to take these tabs off for a second. Just for a second. Because I've realized my dumb mistake. Does happen on occasion. Oh, of course, that's what happened. Right. Well, we can fix that with glue later. All right. This thing, that thing, other thing. So I am meant to glue part of this. That's quite fiddly. I think we can make it work. don't jinx it, but a lot of these later pieces are actually coming together quite nicely, which is pretty good. The eyeball lives. It's coming together slowly but surely. And then we get to have the fun, guys. We get to hook it up to an agent, make it talk, make it trash talk while playing games, right? That is the ultimate goal. You know, have I put this in the right way? I feel like I have. Okay. Yeah, there's no other way that that can go. Cool. Whoop, that's a lot of glue. That's a very permanent amount of glue. Right. Sweet. Hey guys, I got a question for you. Or anyone else who happens to be listening. You think of a personality. Describe a personality for this core. What should it be? What kind of personality do you want to do you want to hear an AI try to replicate? Top. I think you've got the answer to this question, Gary. Probably not a personality you would want for your personal Wheatley. Hey, try me. Try me. You never know, man. Not everyone wants the, you know, the basic sycophantic AI, right? Sometimes we want something a little nuts. I put this on the right way. Let's get to my 10 o'clock brain, man. This is, Ooh, are you locked in? Look, the hardware spec is as it is right now. This isn't, you know, Kev Johnson didn't go in for that kind of thing. Maybe you did, I don't know. But version 1.0 is, it's going to be free from that kind of hardware for now. And that's how the thing rotates. Light bulb. Alright guys, so aside from a quote-unquote fuckable personality, what would you put? What would you have the bot try to emulate? This is why you're so excited about the AI future, guys. Yeah, but we can do better than Jarvis, right? We can... Jarvis is a good first start. British butler personality, yeah. I was thinking about doing like an Aussie Bogan style of thing. Just gonna move. Alright. Eyeball partially get. With a mild amount of snark. Yeah, well, that's the idea, right? Is that this will pretty much be all snark, is what I had in mind. But I think you're absolutely right. I think I'm going to quickly run out of my budget for being trolled and sort of flamed. Oh wow, that one actually came out that time. A Derobo. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have to be careful with that. Part of me was thinking that I could have like a chat element going on where chat could sort of put in keywords to describe a person, and then you have an LLM summarize the last like 5 minutes worth of chat, whatever. And then it synthesizes that into a prompt for a personality. That could be really dangerous. Or really fun. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Kind of like a text-to-speech sort of thing, except the next level of interactivity. Yeah. That is true. Yeah, it's true. I could have it argue with itself. Yes, I think you are onto something. Yeah, exactly. I can probably play like a snippet of the dial-up modem every time it has a little freak out and swaps personalities. It's reaching that point in the night where I'm just accidentally gluing myself to everything that I touch. Just great time. No, they're on the inside. Alright, you gotta give me context on that. A week is a long time for that to be a thing. Right. I'll bite. Does this love of your life have a name? Tale as old as time. Words as old as rhyme. Oh, the plot thickens. I thought you were just going to tell me the fake one. So you ended up with privileged information is what you're telling me. Yeah, that sounds healthy. Did you just accidentally leave your Instagram account open on a nearby table? Alright, guys. You tell me. Does that look like a portal core to you? Cool thing is, it's kind of got a handle on the back of it too. So... hopefully I'll be able to... Oh, I'm moving the actuators, I probably shouldn't do that. Holy crap, it's coming together. So. I mean, if someone has to tell you that, man, that's, yeah. Definitely don't do that. Alright. Just in case you were talking about the person that you met, not this. Yeah, definitely don't do that to this. That's pretty good. Alright. I think it's cold as balls, and it's time for me to get back inside, I think. Oh my days. What have we got?
Patreon. Because
Let's go say hi to this person. They seem nice. Well, that's a brand new sentence. Can't say that I've heard that one before. Apparently decorum is hard. Right. Well, it has merit, even if you don't see it everywhere else. I think decorum definitely has merit. Gosh. Speaking of decorum, let's take our best selves over to this particular person. Have a look at this. See a minute.
I got 1,100 subscribers. This is pretty good, but it's a tutorial. Vader Jim, thank you so much for the raid. How's your stream? How you going? It was not bad, but it's like, bro, if you're trying to live off this, yeah, you can't. What you need to know is that there's different categories of advertisements. So if you're it depends like what type of ads can be shown. But look, this is the smart thing I did. So I linked my tile map tutorial video with an asset that I made on itch.io. And the asset I released on itch.io was free unless you wanted to use it commercially. So let's see how my asset did. That was like a 5-brain thing I did, honestly. Let's check it out. And that made $216. My asset pack. That was free unless you wanna, you know. So, but this, you know, is contingent on all of my tile map tutorial videos. They use the same asset pack. So like, I mean, we would have to also look at every episode of the tile map tutorial series to see, like, in general, how much the series made. Let's see, episode 2, I got 32,000 views, and I made 50, which is like around the same, but yeah. So yeah. Is that a preview of the asset pack? So this is the asset pack. This is the grass tiles. People find it from my tutorials, you know. Just get a Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship. Yeah, I don't do any sponsorships from people that I don't do sponsorships for products I wouldn't use. Yeah, YouTube is definitely, like, there's so many, like, how many people came here from my YouTube? How many people found me from YouTube? Maybe there's not people here, but I know a lot of people found me through YouTube. Me? Look at that. Not me. Me? See that? Not me. So, there you have it. I found you from Thor, yeah. You have a YouTube channel? I came from Thor. Not me, not me. But still, like... found you through Thor, who I found... Yeah, that's why my next step now is just trying to... Because I did go through a period where I was posting a lot of shorts. But it was hard to keep up with it. It was really tiring, so I just want to streamline the short production. I don't even know how I got here. Yeah. So broad overview. There's so much luck involved. Like, yeah, you showed up in my recommendations after I started following Zed. Oh, hell yeah. I rated Zed because did you read any of Zed's book before you you were a suggestion? Oh, nice. I found you on Twitch. I like programming with someone else. Some people actually use. I know Zed from his Python book. Same. I loved that book, honestly. That was like my first programming book that I really enjoyed. I wonder how many of his audience is from that. He completely rewrote my back end of the dialogue system. I'm really proud. Oh yeah, how's your game going? You want to share any? Oh, you weren't posting screenshots, right, Mr. Omida? It was like, hush hush. I found you in my recommendations. So that was a lot of years ago. That's why you got that old tree. I also browsed through the category, and you were the most popular person who's live at Pirate Software, so I don't watch him anymore. I mean, yeah, software and game development. Let's see who's... I haven't really kept track of the software and game development category. Let's see how it's looking right now. They don't really organize it through highest viewers, right? Don't they have like a different... Yeah, like... How is it? It's just organized now by most... Cause look, I'm on the... I don't know. I guess it's different now. It used to be... Most... You see, recommended for you. Viewers high to low. See, if you do high to low, then I'm second. Recently started. Oh, that's cool. Recently started. What do you guys have it? Do you guys have it mostly? It's based on recommendation, yeah. That's fairly new, isn't it? That's the tree from Avatar? Sure. I followed on Twitch after following you on YouTube for quite a while. Oh, hell yeah. Linux grade period. It does gnarly embedded systems work well down in whiskey. Oh my god. I found you on my PC randomly opened your stream and I couldn't close it, so I decided to stay for a little bit. That's great. And you're not too bad. That's I'll take that from Titty, you know. TD, sorry. Yeah. I do high to low Twitch, never recommend anyone I want to watch. See for miss? That's the glowing praise only an engineer. I accept that. I actually appreciate such praises. Alright. So, I'm gonna take a look at Devlog Logan. His video. Because he's also gonna show us how to get like the lighting looking good. And his workflow is just faster. He still has good points, but after the well... yeah, no drama, please. Yeah, Thor's my friend. So it's really awkward. Like I'm on the like sometimes I don't know what to do. Like talking about it just kind of puts a light on it, and I feel like it's just I don't know. Dimey, thank you so much for the sub. Let's go. I
Yo, what's
appreciate
up?
that. What's up, Dimey? How's it going? After about an hour lurking, when I was here for the first time, I thought this would be a nice place to hang out. Okay, okay. I came to Twitch because of you, so since everyone else has to suffer my presence, you as instigator, I'll take it. It's been nice. It's been good.
A 64.
All right, guys, let's get to this. Thank you guys for illuminating me, illuminating how you found me. That was very.
Okay, I've got Blender open now, and we're just gonna hop right in to making the first of the 4 tiles. So, brand new Blender project here. I'll press A to.
Before we start, I am gonna go to the bathroom. Alright, be right back.